Welcome to Spill the Cafecito, where every cafecito comes with a real conversation.
And we're serving up honest talk on culture, relationships, music, life, and everything in between, all with a little Latino flavor.
So grab a cafecito
And let's spill.
about sex.
It's recording. How are you,
is it?
JP?
Is that me just... You're going to pay for that?
You don't
You're
get
welcome.
performances for free. We've
You're
already
welcome.
established that. But
You're
hi.
welcome. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. But it took a journey to get here. So we'll get to that in a second. But episode 5.
It is.
Isn't that wild?
It is crazy. I got an email yesterday saying that most podcasts don't make it to episode 3. So the fact that we're on 5, it's some sort of like milestones, and I'm just going to take it. It means
You know
we
what?
have enough
Cheers.
content.
Cheers, bitch. Because
That's
like
right.
that is a feat that not many people get to achieve.
Truth.
And
truth.
yeah, there are podcasts that have been around for years and have wide audiences, but this is a small homegrown little experiment, and I'm just
Yeah.
really proud of it.
I know. And I feel like it's just been just nice organic conversation and just like fun and therapeutic and everything in between. I think it's like everything that I would hope it was.
The
so
amount
far.
of people that have come up to me and you and are like, we listen to the show, we love what you're doing, keep it up. I didn't think that many people would care.
Honestly, even today, I'm literally grabbing like my salad, and one of our coworkers was just like, "I love your podcast. I love like the conversations you guys have." I'm like,
I love
"This is amazing."
that.
So I'm just happy that it's resonating with folks. And quite honestly, I feel like this week our like direct messages and like the comments in our like reels and our content were like there was a lot. There
Oh,
was-
we'll get to that.
oh.
We will get, because I've got
Oh.
some things to say. But before we get there, JP, how was your weekend?
It was good. I actually left to Florida on Thursday. I was in the Tampa area.
Okay.
I had a good time in terms of like the trip. We went to like the zoo, checked out a couple of beaches. I'm looking to move to Florida potentially in the future, so I'm like just visiting any opportunity that I get to visit any part of Florida. This was the Tampa area.
Mhm.
Not for me. Beautiful
Okay,
area.
I was just going to ask you, do you think Tampa would be where you would settle, like put roots down
No,
on?
I'm not like a gated community. Like
But it doesn't need to be in a gated community. But does Tampa feel like home?
no, it
No?
didn't. It ultimately didn't.
What feels like home in Florida so far, if you have any?
Anytime I've gone to like the Orlando, Kissimmee.
I've got family there. Got a lot of
Really?
family there, yeah.
Oh. So anytime I gone there, it's like, ooh, I can see myself. But I know my partner is really into like Palm Coast, which is like, I think south from Jacksonville.
That sounds very white and Anglo-Saxon.
Next question.
No shade. No, I mean, I don't know that area. Is that, it's coastal, but is it on the east side?
Yeah, it's right. I think the reason why he loves it is his mother actually lived there for a couple of years before
Okay.
she was diagnosed with cancer and had to like move
Oh,
back
no.
up.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And B, it's like a beachy town, so it's like as close.
Oh, nice.
Which I am loving that part because I'm
You're a
like,
water baby.
I am. Please keep me there as long as it's not a New England water, but all day long.
But is Virgo a water sign?
No, I think it was the Earth sign.
Oh, interesting. Okay, carry on.
So visited the Tampa area. Went down from Thursday to Sunday. By the way, I went to a Major League Baseball game, and I'm not into baseball like that. I don't follow any sports, but like I find myself rooting and like heckling at the other team.
Isn't it funny what being at a live sports event will do to you?
Yes, I'm like, I am not that girly. I'm not into sports. I'm like, but I was heckling and like we lost.
So Tampa,
Tampa Rays. Look at me. I know
Look at
sports.
you.
You see,
high five,
me?
bitch.
You see this? You see this? So the Tampa Rays
Come
were
on,
playing
sports.
against somebody. Baltimore. I don't know that team's name.
The Orioles.
Oh, yes.
Listen, I've been
Come
around the block
through.
here.
Wait a
here
minute.
and
Wait a
there.
minute. Wait a minute. Are you like a sports?
I'm a sports guru. Follow me for all your sports guru needs.
Oh, I thought you were falling for the OnlyFans, but we can follow you for that.
And if they got that, go to Google and look it up. You don't have to pay for it.
And Anthony has long pants on.
I'm cold, and I should
I'm
probably
just saying,
turn
so he
the
won't be
AC on.
showing any bits today,
But
or
again,
trying to,
I'm not
because
trying
it's not
to
that type of
advertise,
show.
Although it does pay to advertise. So you went to Tampa. You were there for a couple of days, right? Like
Yes,
a long
yes,
weekend.
yes. So we visited the zoo, baseball game, couple of beaches.
Uh-huh.
I love a good water park. Like water creature that I am.
I do too, but I have to actively.
Don't go with the pissing in the water comment.
Well,
Is that
it's
what we're
not
gonna
even
do
just
today?
that. It's not that, but it is that, right? To a degree, right? Because like there's kids and people, there's pee in the water, there's snot in the water,
So
whatever.
how about when you go to the beach? You don't think people are doing their business in
But
there?
but this is what I'm saying. I have to actively tell myself that that's not happening for me to like realize that it's not happening. It's a psychological fucked up thing. Like I'm not saying what I'm saying makes sense or even is reasonable.
Yep.
It's just I if I see a kid cough at a water park, I'm immediately turned off and I don't want to be there. But it is what it is.
I had a good time.
Good.
Overall, I had a good time. Like I said, Tampa is. I don't know if I would move to Tampa, but like I know I'm getting closer to like finding the spot. And like my partner's been sending me a few houses from like that area, Palm Coast, Orlando. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I still need to like do more exploration. But like I know I need to like I love New England during Christmas. Like I'm like a Christmas fanatic. Like the
Okay,
decor
Mariah.
in my house goes.
When is Kylie gonna do it?
She has a Christmas album.
A Christmas
She
album?
has a oh no, a couple. I think
Amateurs.
it's too early for this. It's too early for
I'm
this.
just
We
saying.
we we were gonna move right along,
I'm not saying. I'm
right
just saying.
along, right along. Kylie, I love you. I just want to say that. But anyways,
Mm.
we'll move right along. What was I saying? See, you get me all like
So you went to the
worked
water
up.
park and you went to the zoo, or you love water parks?
Yes,
You were
yes,
saying.
yes. And I was saying that. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I just had a good time. Overall,
Good.
it was a good time. I needed to like.
Was it really hot down there?
Actually, it wasn't bad.
Not
I
like
mean,
up here.
besides the zoo, and most of the animals were clearly hot because they were hiding. Like
I get
they
it.
had koalas, which I love. They had
Oh, cute.
koalas. They had owls. I'm a big owl person. Like I love. I think there's something like majestic about like owls.
I agree.
What else do they have? Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, manatees. Which I think they're native to like Florida and Puerto Rico. So that was cool to see. But it was just like a overall nice like get away from my reality and
Sometimes you need that.
yeah. So it was nice. It was nice. And
Good. I'm glad.
they've been trying to get me down there for like a minute. So I'm like, let me get out there and do that.
But see, you're good with that because you like to go on adventures and you do things. Whereas if I do one adventure, I need like a solid month to myself where I don't talk or see people just to recover and recharge my batteries.
That's how I felt Monday, Tuesday when I came back. I like stood home, literally rotted in my bed, and I was in a weird funk as well. Like I came back and like I had this heaviness, and I think you and I were talking about this. Where like
Do you want to get into it or?
yeah, I mean we can definitely get into it. Like
Yeah.
I periodically go into these like swings of like shifts of mood, but this one to me felt super relevant, and I'm like, what is going like this? And I think I don't normally even bring it up. I just kind of like fight through it. But like a couple of days where I was like in bed and my partner's asking me like what's going on. I told him I'm just like I feel very heavy, and like today. I looked at my phone and I got a notification and it was like my brother like overdosed a few years back. Um and today's his birthday. So happy birthday, Jimito. Um and I'm like it dawned on me that I'm like this is why like my whole existence feels very heavy because I'm like, and it's so weird how your body, and I was talking to my therapist about this today, how your body like clicks in, like there's something in your subconscious that like clicks in and knows to prepare you for, and I think this is what the heaviness comes through. So like it was, it's been a couple of like rough days, like
Yeah.
coming back to like this. And just his loss. And like I was even discussing with my therapist because she was like, and of course, I'm not a crier. I was a crier as a child, but as an adult, like I can probably count in my like hands the amount of times I've cried since like ages 25 to like now. And like the flood of tears that came out as she was like asking me, and like she'd ask me just like, well, tell me more about him. What's going on? And like I went in terms of like I honestly what I miss the most about my brother it's his laughter and the way he used to make me laugh, but honestly his heart. This man showed so much love and being like the machismo like
Of course.
culture, like males are not usually super like
But he was like he had
lovey.
that, but he had more. He was like a real person. He didn't have to subscribe to that
Yeah,
hardcore.
yeah, and it was I miss the affection and the love that we share, and like I think what hit home too was I don't think he got to see me, and I feel like I'm the most me I've ever been, and he didn't get to see me come to my own, and I wish he would have been able to see that so
Yeah.
that I could have other conversations with him, which I wish I've had. So I'm like I grieve that. I grieve that like I'm finally coming into my own, and he doesn't get to see like his
Yeah.
brother at his like.
Now, is this an older brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was probably like early 30s, and he was like late 30s when he passed away.
Yeah.
Um, so and this is not the first one. I lost my oldest brother. I want to say maybe closer to like 15 years, maybe more. Blanking on time. I've just been sitting with like Jimito that I'm blanking on anything else. But I lost him to gun violence. So this is like the second like sudden death that has just like devastated the family. And honestly, it shook the entire. When I tell you, the dynamics of my family hasn't been the same since like both of them left.
Yeah, of
It
course.
truly shifted all of us.
I obviously experienced loss in my life, close loss, but I was a baby, so I don't know that it affects me the same way that it affects someone that really got to know their sibling, right, and develop a relationship that was meaningful and that was rooted in love and respect. So to know that you've lost two brothers to senseless acts when you were an adult, I mean, because you were an adult 15 years ago,
Yeah.
right? A young adult.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know what that feels like. I don't know that I'm prepared for that level of loss when it inevitably happens. But how do you find the strength to move forward with life when something like that happens? Because you just said your family dynamics change. How do you not let it crumble you and break you down?
I think grief comes in waves, and I think that it's not a linear process, and um the pain that comes with it does not become less, it just becomes easier to carry with.
I agree with that.
And this week I am grieving in a different way, and I'm grieving different aspects of like what could have been.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck on that because I feel like I wish he would have gotten to see his brother. He always called me a nene, which I love because like no matter how old I was, he would
You
call me
love
like
it,
the
Nene.
boy.
Yeah.
And I was always just like his, a nene to him, and he did the same thing to like my other full sibling, because I told you like my mom raised. So these are
Yeah.
my two oldest brothers are technically my cousins, but my mom raised them because,
Mhm.
as I mentioned in that first podcast episode, she raised a lot of her.
Of course.
So I don't see them as any different. They're literally
your
all my
brothers.
siblings. But he used to call us both that, and like it doesn't matter. Like we were 30 years old, and he was still calling me the name. So I'm like, I miss that, hearing that from him.
Of course. I'm so sorry.
And it's not, yeah. And I guess to ultimately answer your question, it's like you do not move past it. I think you incorporate it into who you are, because I feel the way that I honor him is, God, I feel like I'm having a therapy session all over again, is really showing up with the same love that he showed me.
Yeah.
And I think one of my favorite things about me is the way that I love on other people. Like I do it passionately, I do it with intention. I am very particular on the way I show up, and I never go a time without expressing the love or giving that hug or giving like, I never want it to ever be a time where I'm like, oh, I wish I would have gotten that hug, or I wish I would have gotten, like I lead with that, and I do that intention. That's the way that I honor them both, because they were both very loving,
You
affectionate,
keep their legacy
Latino
alive in that
men.
manner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is so rare in our community.
Yeah.
When I see it online, I almost want to reach out to their family and be like, hold on to that, cherish that, because that will eventually go away. And we're not meant to do that. When you see guys do that, to me, it signifies a cycle that's been broken.
Yeah.
In a very positive way.
Yeah.
And hopefully that cycle doesn't reactivate in younger generations. But I mean, as you know,
my nephew is very loving.
Good.
He's another one where I'm just like, he's broing and loving at the same time.
Now, is that the kid of the brother?
No, it's actually for my sisters.
Okay,
yeah.
But he's been around all that too,
But
so
he is.
knows.
But
Okay, so
even
he's influenced
actually,
by
like
that.
my oldest brother, the one who I lost, to gun violence.
Yeah.
Like his son is also very like. So I'm like, I feel like we all carry that. It's just like that.
It's in your family DNA.
Yeah, and I'm like, I love with intention. I do.
Good.
I do. That's the way that I show up in this world. I'm just like, if anything, I want to be remembered living this earth is my heart and how like I make sure that people around me felt it.
That's very well said. I love that for you.
Yeah. How about you? Tell me, because we went into a whole therapy session over here.
I mean,
I'm
I
gonna
feel like
turn
it
it
was
back to you.
needed. You've been going through it. I mean, I can relate to you in a sense because like I tell you, my dad passed away 42 years ago now. And even though I was a baby and I don't feel like it affects me to that degree. I guess subconsciously it does because around the time of his death and Father's Day, which is literally the same time, and his birthday, which was maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I feel a heaviness in me. And I don't know how to describe it other than I feel like I'm carrying an elephant on my back and it's not just weighing my body down, but it's weighing my mind down. Like I don't have the will. No tengo ánimo para hacer nada. I just want to wake up and either rot in bed or not wake up at all and wake me up 2 weeks later when it's July and I can like breathe again.
Yeah.
So I know what that feels like, and I'm sorry that you're going through that. But at the very least, now you know why, and expect that every year this may happen all over again. So now you know how to prepare for it, if you can.
Yeah.
My weekend was terrible. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was a hot mess.
I know we were texting back and forth, and I felt like,
and honestly, thank you for that because you're, besides my partner, the only other person that checked in on me. I don't really have many people that do check in on me, and I think many people just see me as potentially the kind of guy that doesn't need that or whatever.
Yeah,
but I don't get people to do that, and so when I get the rare person or two that do, I feel good. It makes me feel special. But I've got an autoimmune disease, and it's called ulcerative colitis. And every once in a while, I have a flare up of something, either my IBS or my UC. And this past weekend, it was pretty bad. Pain that I haven't experienced in a long time, JP. So for the most part, I was just kind of laying down, trying to give myself some level of comfort. Sleep doesn't ever happen because you have to get up and go to the bathroom. And 9 times out of 10, when you do go to the bathroom, nothing happens. So that coupled with the brain fog, with the joint pains, I'm just like, I'm at a sleep deficit and all I want to do is crash and burn. But past couple of days have been relatively decent, all things considered. And I'm alive. And my whole philosophy has always been, if I wake up and I'm upright, I'm good to go, no matter how I feel. Because there's always somebody that has it better, but there's always somebody that has it worse.
Yeah. I don't know, I can even like start to relate because I'm like, I don't have any chronic pain of any kind that I can even, so I'm like,
It's a blessing.
The only thing that I can say, like, I have like a zero pain tolerance. Like it's very, very low. So the fact that I know that you show up and still are as productive as you are, or even sit in this podcast was, I'm sure like probably the pain is not at the highest level, but like,
yeah,
you're experiencing it right now and you can like,
well, that's the thing.
still
Like,
the whole conversation with me. And
people
like,
just don't understand it because what I have is invisible. Like if you looked at someone that has a disability and it was very apparent that they had something, your mind automatically goes into this like space of wanting to help or feeling pity for them. And when people see me, for all intents and purposes, they see a healthy middle-aged man. I have to throw myself some shade because I guess I'm middle ages now. But the reality is
say it one more time for that.
You tried it. You don't know what's going on in someone's world. Like talking to you, unless you told me specifically if I had some mental issues, like I never would have known, because the way you carry yourself is so confident and so put together. And I try to display the same thing at work because for Latino men who are a rarity in the workforce, and for queer people, the moment you give someone something to use against you, more times than not, they will.
Correct.
And it doesn't always happen to your face. It happens behind the scenes. You don't get an opportunity, or they label you lazy or whatever. There's so many things that happen.
And there are people who use their, diseases or their mental, as a crutch. Yes.
I've been around the workforce now forever, and even just in my personal life. Like I'll talk to my grandmother and she'll be like, oh, deja quieta, she's going through something. And it's like, yeah, but like, and I've always said this, you having something is not an excuse to treat people like shit, right? Although when I'm in a flare, stay the fuck away from me. But then I have to remind myself, like, these are human beings. Like I can't be a dick just because I'm not feeling well.
Yes.
If I want to get grace from people, I have to give grace as well. So my weekend was pretty shit. Literally and figuratively.
Like, did you just say
But I mean, it's the truth. I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep it real.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one thing that kind of kept me going was today I woke up and Mariah Carey released the first single to her re-release of the Glitter soundtrack from 2001, and the song is
How old is she
called
now?
How What?
How old is she now?
How old is Mariah?
No, the album.
25 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was released on 9/11, by the way.
That's
Which is
wild.
crazy.
That's wild.
So the first single is called Didn't Mean to Turn You On, which if you know the movie and you know the song, it's actually an older song from, I want to say, the disco era that she ever made. But then this remix of it is slightly a different song, and I live for it. So I mean, knowing that the re-release of Glitter is coming out,
Yep.
I'm hyped for it, because while the movie was campy and stupid, the soundtrack was
You know, I've never
everything.
seen the movie.
It's like it's like an 80s vibe. Watch the movie.
Okay.
You're gonna agree that it's fucking terrible. But the soundtrack,
Is her acting? Is she in it?
yeah, she's the star of the movie.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she got a Razzie for being the worst actress. But
Can I drag her? Can I sound off in the next episode?
You can do exactly what you want, because at the end of the day, Kylie is still Kylie.
That girl.
Mariah
She's still that girl. Thank you. Still that girl.
So yeah, so that made me smile, and you know, I've been working for the past couple of days and just kind of mustering the strength to keep going. Right.
And you're here and you're recording an episode with me.
Well, here's the thing: like, if you stop and you wallow in self-pity, you don't get anywhere in life. And I don't want to be the guy that like complains obsessively about what I have, because I can't control it and I can't cure it.
Yeah.
So pa qué? For what? There's no point in being upset about something that I can't change. The name of the game here is, how do I manage it? How do I structure my life where I can do what needs to happen because work is a priority, but also take care of myself? And that's the biggest lesson that I've had to learn since I was your age, right? Because that's when
21.
I was formally diagnosed.
The ripe age of 21.
Or so you say. 21 in dog years.
Look at this face. Excuse me? Not in dog years.
21 in dog years, bitch. But I was 36 when I was diagnosed, although I had been dealing with this most of my life. So now that I was diagnosed, or now that I have been diagnosed and I'm being medicated, it's about finding the right set of meds that work for me. And some of the medication I failed. It's been a journey. But that said, the weekend was just rough. And I started new medication. I'm hoping that this medication is not what's causing the flare up, because if it does, I got to figure something else out, because I'm going to Italy in a few weeks and I don't need to feel like this in Italy. That would be a disaster.
Yeah.
But you're going to Italy too, right?
Yes.
But you're actually going to be in Barcelona?
Barcelona first, and then
Okay.
we're going to hit France in Italy.
So you're going via cruise, where I'm going directly to Italy and then going back home. Okay.
Correct.
We
Yeah.
actually miss each other by like a few days, which is crazy.
Honestly,
It would have been so dope.
I
Could you imagine? We
know,
would
I
just
know.
recorded the video. Oh my God, I would have loved that.
I know. That would have been a nice, like.
I was telling Colin, he
dinner.
was like, "Oh my God, it's too bad that we
That would-
literally miss each other by like a day."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Are we going to talk about these comments?
yes, that's what I was going to segue to. So thank you, because here's the deal. I want to be completely open and transparent with you all. When we have hot takes, it's because these are typically unpopular opinions that we have. And I'm not looking to start arguments, although we do invite commentary. I want to make sure that we're doing things in a respectful manner, not calling people names. And I'm not saying that people are calling me names or whatever, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, when there's discourse on the internet, my intent is never to change someone's mind. It might be to educate them and to hopefully help them see a different side to a story. But I said what I said, and I think sometimes you just have to respect that, right?
Nene Leaks. I said what I said.
What you said was some bullshit. But at the end of the day, I get it. You know, people are passionate about what they believe in, and so they want people that they care for to look at things in their light, right? I'm also not against learning new things or changing my perspective, but I also need time to get there. With respect to the hot takes from last week, specifically the one about reading an audiobook, apparently I did ruffle some feathers. And at the same time, while I did ruffle some feathers, I still stand firm in my belief that the action of listening to an audiobook does not mean you read the audiobook. I'm not talking about the impact that it had. I'm not talking about the information that it gave you. I'm not talking about the education. Even one of the comments was like, did you never get read to as a child? I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? At the end of the day, someone reading something to me doesn't mean I read it.
And I think that's where I settled. And I think in our last episode, I mentioned that. Do I agree with you in the sense of like, it's not the literal same action? Yes. But I don't think that one's better than the other.
Correct.
Like,
And
I
that's
think
what the commentary started going down that
correct.
path. Is like,
And I think, because I think that's what it almost like invokes for people to say. It's just like, oh, so are you like shaming me for like audiobook? It's like,
no,
and maybe that's not what the hot take was trying to do, but like I can see why people can like
but there's actual science behind it. And I think that's the core of what the messaging was. Is if when you look at the science behind it, somebody reading something to you or you physically reading it yourself does the same thing in your brain. And I understand science. I'm not against science. I'm not one of those people. And at the same time,
who are those people is what I want to know.
We will do that off camera.
So what Anne's trying to say, I'm gonna be his translator, is
have you seen the Cardi B commercials?
What?
Where it's like two old ladies and one saying something and she's like, she means that your kitchen smells.
What she's trying to tell you is don't come for her unless she's sent for you, is what she's trying to tell you.
And I will send for you when I send for you. You will know when I'm sending for you. But to be honest, like I'm not looking to piss people off, and I hope that people.
And I love the discourse. I love the fact that the back and forth. Listen,
but I'm not.
Comment,
again, I'm not looking to piss people off. I'm
Yeah.
also not looking to start an argument. This is more or less fun.
Yeah.
That's why some of these are like stupid. Speaking of hot takes, do we want to do a couple right now?
Yes. Well, first of all, we need to like rebrand them to like the hot spills because we're in a cafecito, so we're gonna call them hot spills in our podcast.
We're spilling some hot cafe.
That's
some
right.
hot spills. So do you want to do one or do you want me to start?
You go first. You go
Okay.
first. Gotta pull mine up, but go ahead. Do it. He already sees the comments as the problem.
Well, I think most people will probably. I don't think this is really a hot spill.
Okay.
But I do want to say it because I feel like it needs to be said. When somebody comes for you, whether it be a workplace setting or something in your personal life, and the disrespect was loud and in public, the apology has to be louder and just as public as the disrespect was.
So give me an example of what that looks like for you.
If someone wants to call me out for an opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're loud and wrong about it.
Yep.
When they apologize to me, they better do it in a public setting where everyone can see it at the same time.
I can agree with that. Because why is it that we need to take it offline when you want to give me an apology, except you felt comfortable enough in a group setting to be disrespectful?
I had a manager once back in the day when I was younger in my career call me out in a group setting for something that happened. I don't even remember the specifics because they always say you don't remember what they said, you only remember how they made you feel.
Yep.
And I remember being called out in a group setting, and it was like I was on one of 3 teams. So we had like a giant team meeting. And when I was called out, I was like, well, damn, what the fuck did I do? And then it turns out that the way I was doing it was right all along. Everyone else was wrong. And instead of being like, hey, I'd like to apologize for calling you out publicly, it was, hey, I just want to say sorry because I shouldn't have done it that way. And I'm like, I appreciate the apology, but why is that apology just as public as the disrespect was when you thought you were doing something?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. There's no argument on my part on that.
Because Anthony, at 43 years old now, will call you out publicly for not apologizing publicly. Like, if I
like in the middle of the meeting, you're like, pause, I need an apology, cue it up.
No, I mean, I think yeah, honestly, I say no, but yeah.
Cue the apology up.
If I had been sensibilities now then, and that happened, and then the apology came afterwards, I'd be like, all right, I appreciate the apology. When are you going to make that apology public like you did when you tried to call me out?
What do you usually get for a response when you do that?
Well, I mean, people don't look at me favorably. People don't like to be, it's a threat in a way. People don't like to feel like they're being pressured into doing something they don't want to do. It's uncomfortable for them.
Yep.
But just like you made me uncomfortable, I want you to feel the same way too.
So is it more as a payback, or is it more
In a
like,
way, but also it's a lesson to learn. Don't fuck with me and don't fuck with the next person because you think you can.
yeah,
So if the disrespect was loud and in public, the apology has to be just as loud in public as well. I
uh,
will accept nothing less. And all my apologies now will come in the form of cash. Pay the fuck up.
we already got a check last year. Last year, oh my god, last episode, Jesus.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I see this on social media where people call each other out in comments. I don't engage in discourse like that, but in my mind, I'm thinking like, how would I handle things now as an adult, as a grown man? Part of me says just let it go because it's not really worth it. But if it's really egregious, then yeah, I'm gonna demand a public apology for something that you made public.
What crosses the threshold of
It
like
depends on the mood, right? Like I don't know. Like
strong wind says you should apologize?
I think well, they better watch out before strong winds blow my fist in their face.
Oh, we catching hands?
Apparently,
Oh,
if we need to. I'm just saying, like, I think
catch her
people
outside.
are really quick to offer their perspective or feedback in the form of what you should do differently.
Yeah.
And then when they're wrong, there's never like a, hey, just like I made this public, calling this person out, I want to say, I apologize. You shouldn't be doing it this way. Anthony was right all along.
Yeah.
That I think goes a long way in earning my trust back. But there are people that just don't want to feel like they're calling themselves out
Yeah.
by doing that.
Yeah. Because I mean, it takes a form of like, you gotta humble yourself a little bit to like do that. You gotta
Well, I mean, you're asking people
Yeah.
to be adults and to grow
I
up.
guess
and,
for me, I care more of the, I don't want to hear the I'm sorry with no action. Because like you can do it publicly and then turn around in the next meeting and
but
still
that's
do
the
it
action
again.
I'm looking for, a public fucking apology.
Yeah, but are they gonna match the act? Are they going to correct their action and then I could continue that behavior?
Well, if they do it again, they already know what I'm after, so they'll think twice about it. The whole point of it is to mitigate the risk of this happening again by making them embarrassed enough to never have to do it again.
In the form of intimidation.
If you feel intimidated, that is not on me.
No, truth. If you're willing to disrespect me, then don't play, save me over
There
here.
have been very, very few people in my career and in my life that have openly disrespected me. I can name them on maybe 2 or 3 fingers. And every one of those
I'm
conversations.
sure you can name them in one.
No, there's been a couple people. Oh, I just got what you were saying. But when things like that happen,
Yeah.
I have a very stern conversation. And Anthony of 24 years old is different than Anthony of almost 44. Me as a 24-year-old, when I started, I was like nervous. I didn't want to make waves. You humble yourself. You're there to do a job. You do it to the best of your ability, blah, blah, blah. Y ahora, if you try to call me out for something that you're loud and wrong about, you should expect to be chewed up. And I'm going to humble you. I'm going to embarrass you. Let me just make one thing clear, JP. I'm not saying that what I'm doing is good or correct. This is a trauma response, right? Because I've been programmed to feel like if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. But it took me a lifetime to get here.
Yep.
It took me a lifetime of people pushing and poking and me just accepting it until I got fed up, and then I stopped accepting it. And then when I started barking back, then it's like you're policing my behavior or my response versus talking about what provoked it. And so one of the very recent examples happened at work maybe a year and a half ago when someone came after me with my manager present, and I was like, oh, no. You thought wrong, and here's why you're wrong. I didn't say it like that. I kind of went in to the point where that person felt so bad that they couldn't apologize in person until like a week later. I didn't really care for the apology personally.
Yep.
But I knew that I wasn't going to get anything more. And in my mind, I'm thinking that apology should have come in the form of a group meeting with everyone that was present where you said that. So if the disrespect is loud in public, so should the apology.
Got it. No,
because I lost
I'm not
respect
against
at that
that.
moment.
I'm not against that. I feel like I would have issues enforcing that because I feel like it's very like case by case, and it has to be like a certain like strong winds too.
But you're also not always going to get the apology you want.
No, and I honestly would rather the apology be met with action. And what I mean by that, like, I want you to apologize and don't give me the I'm sorry. I want like what are you apologizing for? And then I want like, okay, so let me see you correct the action. Because if you're gonna continue the behavior, then like your
But
apology to me,
I
whether
think
it's in public or not, means
my problem with that,
trash.
JP, is that we're all grown-ups. Excuse me. And to change that behavior means you have to change your programming, which many people, oh my God, excuse me, I'm only drinking water, which many people
So
just,
she says.
it's vodka, which many people just don't know how to do. They don't have they don't go to therapy enough or at all to know how to equip themselves with those tools. And so
Emotional intelligence.
well, yeah, but to challenge people to change their behaviors when they're in the wrong and they're programmed to operate a certain way, I'm just never going to expect that. Just like I would never expect anyone to change my mind that reading an audiobook doesn't exist.
She's stuck on this.
I'm just saying. But
She's
that's
stuck.
my whole point is you can't expect people to change.
No.
So if you're not going to change, make sure that when you deliver that apology, you're doing it in a way that's satisfactory to me, because ultimately you're trying to appease me. But most apologies are not for the other person.
I was
It's to
gonna
make
say,
that
like,
person feel good
yeah.
about what they did.
Yeah, it's also the same thing with like, and I think I saw a reel like a couple of years back or whatever, when it talk about like someone who like does you wrong, and you almost ask them to like validate your feelings. It's just like, well, validate for me that you did this to me. Like, do you really need their validations? Like, did it not hurt when they did it? So I'm like, I don't seek many things from other people because like expectations are low when it comes to like low emotional intelligence on my end. That I'm like,
I get it.
I'm not trying to like come to your level and trying to like reason with someone who's like unreasonable.
Well, that's
to
why I'm
begin
not
with.
even looking for an apology for the most part when you wrong me.
Yeah. You're looking for the shame. You're looking to shame.
I'm looking for your bloodline to suffer.
Death to your house.
I want your kids to feel it for generations to come, bitch. But in all seriousness, like at the end of the day,
I don't hate that. I don't hate them. I think the sentiment is not wrong. I don't think that
I just don't think I'll ever get that.
No, and most people are just like, you want one from me? No, this is as
because if I do
people
something
don't
wrong,
apologize to begin with. Never mind a public apology.
But I feel like I do that, and it's been very rare instances. But if I ever did something wrong to someone,
yeah,
and I recognize that I did wrong, then I'm gonna atone with them. But if it were in a group setting, you better believe I'm bringing everyone on board to let them know that it's okay to admit that you did something wrong.
Yeah.
And to publicly apologize for something wrong. It makes you a human being.
Yeah, I don't have an issue apologizing.
Yeah.
My partner does. Like, he literally eats up inside to like do it. Like, he struggles with it.
With saying I'm sorry?
He's not, I don't know if like saying the words, but actually like
meaning it.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, because he can give you the I'm sorry, but like I have to like not beat it out of him, but it feels like, and you say what? Cue the apology for you. So I'm like, and sometimes and he's very much like an active service. Like, so he's like, wants to like wine and dine me. Let's go do this.
That's
I
his
paid for
apology.
tickets for this. And I'm just like,
but you need it done differently.
And I'm like, yes, and you can still say sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I will take the dinner. I will take the check. He's not giving me any checks. But I will take.
Look, we've already been talking for nearly 40 minutes.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
I know. It is.
So, long story short, if the disrespect is public, then make sure that apology is too. What's your hot spell?
So talking about like disagreements, and I guess we'll take it more in the social media realm. Like,
sure.
Is it okay for folks to unfriend, unfollow someone that they don't like politically agree with? They don't like their point of view on this. I'm like, is it constructive? I guess is it constructive for them to do that? Because I don't think so. For me, it's just like, so what if he likes Trump? Like, that's their right to choose whoever they want to.
But is your question more about like unfollowing them for their beliefs?
Yeah, like unfollowing them, or just like, because I'm like, I'm a person like, I'd rather have a conversation with people and like, not to convince them, but just like have discourse so that like we can talk. Because I feel like silencing each other and just like, well, remove yourself from my page if you disagree with this statement, or I'm gonna unfollow him because I don't like their point of view. I'm like, then who are you gonna talk to? Nobody? Because I'm like, no one 100% agrees with anybody in this planet about everything.
I agree.
You know what I mean? The only thing that I agree with folks is when is a celebrity involved. Like Nicki Minaj, I'm completely unfollowed, but I feel like she is one who will gain money from like the fame and the things. And I'm not trying to subscribe, but like a friend that I don't like agree with politically or their point of view on a specific, unless they're like pedos, and like that's a whole different. You can unfollow yourself, but I mean, like
I
that's.
have a different opinion.
Well, let's hear it, Ms. Rodriguez.
I guess Miss Guatemala. To be honest, I used to be the person that didn't do that. I actually have.
You were unfriending people for their point of views.
Now I do. Before I didn't.
Okay.
I have a friend who, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm super close to them, but we worked together at one point and we're friendly. Like, if they called me up, I'd be like, yeah, let's go to dinner, let's chat. Who told me that they voted for Trump the first time. And immediately was uncomfortable. But then I thought to myself, like, this was their decision. This is just why, like, it is what it is. With everything that you know, that's what you did. And I didn't pass judgment. But now, it's like, unequivocally what this person is about. And there has been legislation introduced. There has been harmful rhetoric against my community. When I saw the response to Hurricane Maria, those things stay with me. They kind of change you. So when I see someone who, especially Latinos, because this past election cycle, you saw a lot of that support this person, I don't agree with that. And I no longer have space in my life for people that I do not agree with. And here's why. It creates stress. And it's not that I'm unwilling to have a conversation, but I used to believe that education solved all the world's problems until I realized that people are not willing to be educated. And when you're not willing to be educated, you're not willing to seek a different perspective. When you're not willing to seek a different perspective, what are we here to talk about? It's okay to feel what you feel, but I don't want people in my sphere that support ideologies that don't align with the way that I live. Because what am I doing by being okay with that? Is I'm saying that you're okay doing what you do, even if it affects me.
But and I understand. See, I'm not in the game of like educating. I'm gonna take that back. I'm not in the game of changing people's minds about things, but like I'm in the game of like, let's have a conversation. Why do you feel that
way? Conversing about what? Why do you care about what they feel?
Because I feel like we need to like talk to one another in order to like meet in the middle somewhere.
But do you think there is a middle to meet at?
Yes, because the middle is a human. You're talking to another human. So I'm like,
but what if that human doesn't give a fuck about you and the way you live and sees the color of your skin and that you're homosexual and thinks that you're just an abomination and they don't want you around them?
But I feel like it's very easy to hate from afar.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to hate someone that becomes human to you.
You know what I mean? I take that back. I said that incorrectly. It's very difficult to hate from up close. Like when you, because right now we talk about like the trans community, the gays, the whatever you may have, but we don't talk about like Jose and we don't talk about Anthony. Like when you're having a conversation with people about like, they can be your neighbor. They can be.
I guess it depends on the
because we are dehumanizing people, and we're just putting a label on them, and like you hate this concept, but you don't know that your neighbor is that.
Yeah.
And you talk to them all the time, and they mow your lawn
for sure.
You know, and they do stuff for you. So it's like
this is why, like, when it comes to social media,
yeah,
if I see fuck shit, I don't care. I said this last week. I will block, ghost. I don't have to talk to you on social media. But if you're in my sphere because you have to be,
yeah,
then we can come to an agreement on what we're going to talk about, what we're not going to talk about, how we're going to navigate life.
So you would shy away from those conversations with them?
I would, if it got brought to me, I would openly discuss it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go out of my way to be like, hey, I know you're a Trump supporter. Let's talk about it. Like, first of all, I don't care who you vote for. At the end of the day, it's your choice.
Yeah.
But I don't want to know about it if I don't have to know about it. Because if I have to know about it, then I'm going to feel a certain type of way. And it's like working with the racist right next to you. You know they're racist, but you have to work with them, so you just tolerate it, but you feel unsafe and uneasy. But there's no amount of talking with them to meet in the middle that's going to change the fact that they see your skin color and they just hate you for it.
Yeah.
That's their programming. So that's why I'm like, if it's social media,
yeah,
and I know people do the most for social media, I'm not willing to entertain a conversation. But I'm not also going to be like, hey, if you don't like the way that I think, you should just unfollow me. Like, I don't think social media
that's very performative. Like the whole thing where I'm just like,
that's attention seeking. If you want to have a conversation with me, I'm an open book.
I just don't want people to stop talking to one another, because I feel like that's the whole point. They want to divide us. So I'm like, the second we start like literally doing that, then we lose the humanity. Because I'm at the end of the day, we're like team human. So at the end of the day, like we can have that human connection. We can talk to, and I feel like if you see
Yeah.
how
I
it
get what you're
impacts my
saying,
life,
but I don't think
I don't know if
that.
you're gonna change your mind, but I think it gives you. I'm all about like perspective. Like
Yeah.
it gives you a perspective. You're probably not writing that in hard on something because you're just like, oh, Joshua who lives next to me is dealing with. You know what I mean? So I feel like I don't want to
Mhm.
ever create the division physically that people are trying to inspire.
This is generational racism. This is generational homophobia and bigotry. Like, we're not going to be able to solve that even with the conversation. But I get what you're saying, and
Yeah.
you maintain hope, whereas I'm a little more cynical. Sorry.
Unfollow, unfriend, get
It's
out.
more of a block. I don't ever want to see you in these streets,
Oh gee.
because if I do,
Catch me outside. All right, should we pivot?
we should, because we've been talking for
Those were
almost for over
good.
45
Those were
minutes.
good. There was supposed to be like 15-minute segment, but we'll try
So
to.
we really wanted to talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex. Isn't there a song?
Yeah.
Who sings that
I
song?
forget. Oh my God. I should know this as a
You
child
know
of
what
the
the name of the
90s.
episode is gonna be? Let's talk about Sexo.
Well,
You
we might not
imagine?
be able to get away with that on the internet. But I mean, here's the deal, guys. I want to say this really quickly for anyone that made it this far. There's a lot of you that we know from work, and there's a lot of family members on both sides that are watching and or listening. What we're Is this salt and pepper? It probably is salt and pepper, but
you're gonna pay for that.
well, we didn't sing it. You were the one singing it, so you're gonna pay for it, bitch. But these are our stories. This is our perspective. You might hear things that make you feel uncomfortable. You might be curious about the gay experience when it comes to sex. If you want to listen, fine. If you don't feel like you want to know us on that level, and I totally respect that, but this is your cue to turn it off. Because again, this is about conversations that we normally would have, and we're inviting you in. If you don't want to be invited in, you don't have to be in it. Point blank, period.
But if it is, stay locked in because it's about to get juicy.
So, sex is a very interesting topic in the queer community, especially being gay and Latino, because, and I'm sure most of you can relate, none of us are really taught about sex.
No.
Traditionally you hear about the birds and the bees, but we're not taught that.
We're not having that conversation.
And then to add the layer of homosexuality on top of that, like, who are we going to turn to? Our parents? That isn't, they don't know. They don't even, either they don't know that we're gay, and if they do, they're denying it or don't support it. So a lot of queer people find out about sex through either watching pornography or experiencing it themselves. So I'll ask you, and I'm going to ask you, but I'm going to caveat it by saying you are under no obligation to spill your tea. Sorry, your cafecito. You're under no obligation to say anything that you don't want to say or you don't feel comfortable saying. So as long as you're comfortable, talk to me about growing into your adolescence and your adulthood and how you got introduced to sex and what that meant for you.
What she's not telling you is that she's Ursula and she has a contract right over there.
And as long as you're 16 years old and you sign it, Ursula is not at fault.
Shade. So where do I even begin? Because to your point, growing up first Latino and then the intersectionality of being like queer did not allow for me to have those conversations. And quite honestly, I don't think my mom wanted to have those conversations with me. And I keep saying, sorry, mommy, if you did, I don't think you did. And so let's just say from ages probably 8 to maybe like 16, like there wasn't a lot of experiences, but like as I was coming into my own and I was a horn dog essentially. I don't know if it's like 17.
And that makes sense because I mean,
yeah, your
hormones are going crazy at that point.
I find myself wanting to start like experiencing and like figuring out like sexual expression, not just like the actual act, but like sexual expression or like all of it. Like I was very curious. There was some things on TV that like a lot of nudity back then.
What year was this?
2008.
2000, yeah, 2007, 2008. You would have been 17, 18 years old.
Yeah,
That
so
makes sense.
probably around that
So
time.
the internet was a thing. It was readily accessible.
Correct. The internet was a thing.
Well, the reason I say that is because for me it
Are you
wasn't.
coming from my
No, no, no,
age?
no, no. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm really
All
not. I'm
right.
only saying that because like context matters, right? You had access to things that I didn't, especially information with
She
the
had the
internet.
dinosaurs, but we won't go there.
I had like the Ten Commandments, the tablets that were carved out of stone.
He was screwing Moses.
Oh my god, we're totally gonna
That's
get
how they
canceled.
that's how the commandments came about. But I got on apps. I won't go through the list of them.
If you're gay, you know. If you know, you know.
um, but I find myself talking to all sorts of people on there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, there was also like porn. So I'm like, I could also watch, but like that did not do it for me for very long. In fact, I feel like I quickly pivoted and I wanted to like actually start like a dating and I think I mentioned that dating, finding someone, um, but B like I wanted to start like experiencing myself in like a sexual manner with someone else.
Yeah.
Um, so I find myself just in the hookup sort of like environment, I guess for the lack of a better term. That most I feel like most queer people fall in there. I feel like there's a lot of folks who experience it through actual having sex with folks. And at first it was very traumatizing. And I'll tell you why. Because in our community, you either are receiving or you either are performing on someone
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
That's called a top or a bottom, right? Or
Sure.
there's also verse, people who like both. So like exploring, and I won't make it too graphic, but exploring what works and how things are supposed to function um was interesting to say the least because at first you don't know what you like, and when you're trying things with people, um what you fail to like understand is like a sexual experience with different partners are very different.
Mm-hmm.
There are more aggressive people, there are more
Submissive people.
submissive people, there are more experienced people, there's more inexperienced people, and you're just meeting someone on some sort of a profile, so that's as much as you're getting. So going through that process, I mean, like I learned a lot. um but it was a lot of trial and error, and like I don't think that, I mean, the first time I even had sex, so I'll say this, I was so uncomfortable. And I thought to myself, the only time I've ever wanted to myself, well, maybe I'm not gay, because I did not enjoy that at all. That was
Yeah.
actually not the experience I ever want to continue doing. Um, so it was very much a lot of like exposure and experience, and maybe some shady, like I got stories to like of like horror stories that I can probably like go on and on about. Um, but it wasn't like the easiest, and it wasn't like I can go like run to mom and be like, hey, what do you think I should do? Like, I try this. Like, I wasn't having those conversations with her.
Did you feel like it was a secret that you had to keep from people?
Oh yeah, yeah, and in fact, I did not want to even share it with even like my siblings. As close as I was with them. I like that's something that I kept very much to myself, and I because we don't really, even with your siblings, you don't want to talk about that. That's not a conversation you're having, because you're going through hate, still figuring out, coming out to like your siblings, so you can't even have those conversations.
No, of
And
course.
once they quote unquote are open or accepting of you, the next thing is not like, oh, give me advice on how this works,
Yeah.
because
And it's not like they would know anyway.
how to correct. So and I feel like my sexual experience, and I mean everyone's sexual experience is very personal to them and like what you like, and we talk about like fetishes, and we can talk about like certain things that people like sexually. um so it was very challenging from that perspective, and kind of like coming into my own and like having to like experience, and like I said, it was like from traumatic to like figuring out, yes, I like this, no, I don't like this, that works. um
I feel like that's kind of a universal experience. So, like,
yeah.
generally speaking, most people's first time is not an enjoyable experience. And
Yeah, but their parts are supposed to go into one another. When the parts are not
Not.
built
I
to do
mean,
that, it's
I
very
mean, if
different.
it's a situation where you're taking someone's virginity for the person that's receiving it, it's not a pleasant experience almost always,
Truth.
right?
Yeah.
And even for the guy, it can't be pleasant. I mean, I've heard stories from friends and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's like it's always awkward because you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But when you're gay, it's like you're dealing with, I don't know if I'm a top or a bottom. I just kind of have to try and see what works. And there's preparations that you have to take if you're a bottom, right? Because it's supposed to be exit only. But there's things that you have to do to make sure that
Yeah.
you're not, causing yourself discomfort, or where you're not accidentally going on someone, right? We call it painting.
Yeah.
If you're painting someone, then it's like, oh, how do you get over the discomfort of now you have to clean yourself up and maybe try again?
Yep.
There's things in the queer community that we just have to that we've become kind of numb to, or just so used to, that when it happens, it's not a big deal. But the first couple times it happens, and it almost always happens to everyone, you're kind of fucked up by it, to the point where you're either questioning your sexuality or
Yeah.
questioning whether this is even for you.
Yeah.
There are some people that start off as bottoms, something bad happens or there's pain, and they vow to never do it again, and they never do it again. And the reality is if you do it properly, there's a lot of nerve endings down there, and your prostate is nearby. So if you hit it just right, it's a very pleasurable experience.
Yeah.
But you have to be with someone that knows how to do it. And many people just don't know because they've not been equipped with the tools to do it.
Because they're learning on the job.
Learning on the job. I mean, it was similar to your story. Is very
It's
similar.
very. You know what I think about now? How scary it was with all STIs as we have them today,
Yeah.
and like HIV, and like I remember the first experiences were not protected, and like how scary. Like now I reflect that, and I'm like, that could have been the time I got an HIV. Or that could have been the time that I could have gotten an STI.
Mhm.
And being in the queer community and being like sexually active, I mean, I ended up getting STIs, throughout, and like learning about those fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I didn't have like a spectrum of them, but I'm like, I've definitely had my dealings with them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of shame that comes with it because people prescribe shame to it. And the reality is it's so common in every community that if you get one, you just go to the doctor and you get a pill or a shot, and 9 times out of 10 it's fine, right?
Yeah.
So I think we need to do a better job at like normalizing it. Not to say that we should kind of like go out and actively get them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if people have them, don't like shame them for it.
It's so funny that you bring up shame, because I remember when I exited my first, partnership with my ex, that I went into what I like to call my hoe phase.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like shaming myself. But I've noticed.
But I don't think being a hoe is bad either.
But I learned something very interesting. Latino men can like, fuck around, and it's like not saying negatively. But if you're a gay Latino man, you get the same treatment a woman does. You're a hoe, you're because my sisters.
I don't even think it's about being Latino. It's male versus gay male and women.
But I felt that they were like zoning in on like what I was doing. I'm like, listen, I'm single. I'm recently single. Like I'm out here. Yes, I'm out in the streets, but I'm like, I'm doing the most because I was with this.
Because I can.
I was with my my partner for like over a decade.
Right.
So I'm like, I was doing my thing. And like the amount of like, and what honestly bothered me about that is like they will bring it up in front of like my grandmother, and I'm just
Really?
like, why are we doing this? Like, yeah, and they weren't purposely saying it, but they would just like say it randomly, and I'm like,
really weird.
Why are you calling out your sibling? And I'm like, I'm not spilling my sister's teas, but like they're no angels, so I'm just like, you guys are doing what you, and I'm not like that is your life. Why
I have
the
to
hell
imagine,
are you
JP,
picking on me?
As a guy, it's almost socially acceptable. That's the point you were just making a second ago. A guy can fuck around and they're almost celebrated for it. But if a gay man or a woman does the same thing, it's like you're a whore. It's just is how it is.
But how do we get like why? I don't even know why it even exists. Like why are we like so focused on like
it's
what so and so is doing it? Like why?
Who gives a
fuck?
fuck?
Exactly. So I'm like I've not, and like I'm a judgy person. I was gonna say I'm not a judgy person, but I'm a judgy person. But and not in a bad way. I'm just like I'm funny judgy.
Oh my god.
I try to now give everyone the space to like be whatever you want to be as long as you're not hurting yourself or anybody else, it is none of my business. It is none of my business. You do whatever makes you happy, whatever fetish you're into. If you're into one, two, or the third, that is completely up to you, and that's up to you and whoever you're doing that with. Like that's not any like that doesn't affect me. It has nothing to do with me. I wouldn't do it to my sisters, my best friend, the enemy. I don't care. Like it's not my business. Like cool. Like I feel, and there's also this in the community where like people like, I feel like gay men like to like or point out like I have friends who like actively will say like, you know, I slept with him and I slept with that, and I'm like, who are you? Like, do you get a badge for that? Because I'm like,
Well, I mean, that's a problem in the
anyone
gay
can
community.
fuck anyone, but can you make them stay? I'm like, can you get them?
Can you make them steak?
Can you get them? Can you make them stay?
I was like, I can't make steak.
No, I said, can you make them stay though?
Yeah,
And what I
mean
mean by that, I'm like, is it gonna put a ring on it? Because yes, he hit it once and now he's gone.
But I mean, I think we have to change our perspective even on that a little bit, because everyone's end game isn't a relationship or marriage, right? I used to be like you, where like I call it funny judging,
Yeah.
right? When the reality is you're still judging.
Yeah.
I used to be more or less of a prude back in the day. I didn't have many partners, but then when I was married, like or I was in a long-term relationship, I would commit. And then in the second marriage, we were committed until we became more open towards the end.
Yep.
And I used to judge the fuck out of people that had open relationships. I'm like, how do you make that work? And now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. If you like it, I love it for you. It may not be my tea, but at the end of the day, who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
And then the point that I was trying to
and
make,
when you're talking about like open relationship, you mean like in when both parties know they're an open relationship, or when like one party is in an open relationship but doesn't know?
Well, a lot of relationships are like that, but that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, like if people set boundaries in their own relationships, who the fuck am I to judge what's going on over there?
Yeah.
But a lot of gay men, they meet people that way. Your first meetup with people isn't necessarily just going to like a game night, right? It's you met them on an app, you hooked up with them, you enjoyed it, so now you want to get to know them, and you realize through getting to know them that you're never going to be in a long-term relationship with them, but you could tolerate them for a night or two, or go on a vacation or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you can be friends
for the
with
10
them,
minute or two.
But the funny thing is, they call the gay handshake a blowjob. So a lot of gay men meet because they hook up with one another. So in the rare instance where you don't, it's a different dynamic. But it's very common in gay groups, for a good majority of them to have slept with one another, and everyone's okay with it. I mean, I'm at the point now where it's like free love. If you like it, I love it. You handle your business.
Yeah.
As long as you're not bringing bullshit in my world, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right.
And
hurt yourselves if you want. If that's what you're into. So many
choking.
Well, there's a lot of fetishes out there. Like, I'm not gonna yuck someone's yum. I have my secure relationship with my man, and that's how I like it. Yeah. But in my previous relationship, I had an open relationship towards the very end. And there were specific reasons why I won't get into that detail.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that was the decision that we made. And I took advantage of it until the relationship didn't work. And then we parted and we went our separate ways.
So turn back the pendulum on me and like talk about your sexual experience as you came to being an adult, or even to your teenage years.
I was also 17, but this was 1990. Sorry, no, I was 17 in the year 2000. And the internet was just becoming a thing that was in people's households. Like you had to buy like an AOL subscription. You had to have cable internet, which you had to get through your cable provider.
Oh my God.
What we have now seems like so second nature. That was a luxury then.
So you had the weird noises like
we had the
phone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Yeah, there were no apps. You had no.
We had cell
phones, but like my first cell phone, I got it at 18 years old.
Yep.
So like you meet people in chat rooms that are local to your area. And if they happen to be nearby, then that's where you meet them. Looking back on that now, wow, very sketchy. But that's how you met people.
Yep.
And I met up with someone, we became friends, and then one thing led to another. And before you knew it, I lost my virginity. It actually happened on July 4th.
She just like...
the year 2000.
She lost her virginity.
Strong winds blew me over to this person's bed.
Oh, something blew you.
But, oh my God. Oh my goodness. But like you, I learned a lot. The difference is like, I didn't have access to information that you had access to in 2007, 2008.
Men?
Well, no, I mean, like, so,
You had access.
well, I mean, we
No,
had
I know.
access, but it's very limited
Yes,
access,
yes,
right?
yeah.
What we knew about sex, or what I knew about sex came from either watching pornography
Yeah.
or talking to people that have done things with other people. And most of my knowledge came from college. You okay?
Sorry, I got goosebumps. I'm good.
When I was at UConn, and just being around people that were like me. And of course, every kid's having conversations about sex at that age. Like, we're all horny. So that's what we did. And of course, you meet people, you're attracted to them, you experiment, blah, blah, blah. And you learn different things. What I learned was that I'm not for everyone and everyone's not for me. And I'm very, I would say more or less vanilla, for lack of a better term. Don't get me wrong, I have my moments and I like my things, but
Catch your OnlyFans.
my I'm pleased or gratified more when I have a deep rooted connection with someone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now that doesn't mean I can't find someone to hook up with them, right?
Yep.
It's the same experience. It just doesn't mean as much to me.
I like to be stimulated like by the brain, and then everything else follows.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like maybe when I was younger, it was a whole different.
Yeah, but that's the process of you learning yourself and learning what you're into and what you're not into.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was kind of like my foray into this world. It was learning from people in college, and then when I had my boyfriends, and then my first long-term relationship, my first partner, really, just being with him and learning his body, him learning my body, what worked for us. And there were times where it worked really well. There were times where I was just like, I don't want this. It's not what I'm into.
Yeah.
And
or you try something and you end up laughing. You're just like, this is, I'm not like, I thought.
There were times where we'd be literally in the act, and I'd be talking about like, okay, so what are we making for dinner? We're literally having a random conversation.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is weird. But honestly, is it that weird? Like, is this a unique experience? I don't know.
If you're into kitchens.
If you're into kitchens, right? If that turns you on. But I mean, I have friends that are into all sorts of what people would find weird, right? And so I've stepped away from judgment because, again, who the hell am I?
Yeah.
To, if you like it,
I like talking about
I'm
it.
into it.
I don't know if it's judgy, but I like talking about it. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's fun learning about what other people like to do. There's some interesting kinks out there, and I'm not here to kink shame.
People are drinking bathwater out there.
I don't know that I would be able to do that, but if that turns someone on and gets people,
you're gonna give your significant other, if he's into your bathwater, you're gonna like collect it in a pot, and you're like, here you go.
If my significant other was like, this is what turns me on, I really want that, would I think twice about it? 100%. Would I try it? I mean, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
I think everyone should try everything at least once or twice to know if they truly like it or not. And if you don't like it after a couple tries, it's not for you.
I could not do the whole diaper thing. I had,
I mean, I guess there are some things that you just know you're not going to be into.
Who was like, I was like, this is interesting. And I'm like, why are you wearing a diaper?
Listen, some of us with ulcerative colitis are headed in that direction.
Why are you wearing a diaper?
I mean,
and I'm not.
But did he tell you about that before you found out, or did you just pull the pants down and there was a full ass diaper there?
I don't quite remember, but I remember being very shocked.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or the moment when you like show up somewhere and like there's multiple people and you're just like, I was talking to one of you. This is your wife.
Oh shit.
Okay. I need to exit left because
was she in on it as well?
Apparently she was, but I exited left and I made some bullshit excuse. I'm like, because I don't like a catfish. Like I don't want.
You don't.
First of all, you need to look like your picture. Number one, it can be you from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Number two, it makes me completely uncomfortable because I don't know what you guys are gonna. If I'm supposed to be meeting one person and there's 3 of you here,
it's a safety issue.
Correct. I immediately turn to like defensive mechanism and I'm like, I need to exit left quick because I'm like, I don't know where this is gonna go. And like, it might have been a great time, but like, you need to lead on. So like, when I show up to places, also. You gotta be clean. I don't want to show up and you're fucking looking like an episode of Hoarders.
Because like
hygiene is like important. Number one.
Important.
So I'm like, if you don't take care of your place, then you can't have this temple. I'm sorry. Like next.
I've been.
Have you had any horror stories of like you showing up and something? I'm sure there's something.
I haven't had a lot of hookups to be honest, right? Because I've been in relationships for the most part. But the few that I've had, I've not been something that's like taking me off guard or something that I've been turned off by. I
Okay.
think when I was younger, I was with someone that like I don't know, like sprayed a cologne on that was just it didn't smell good, but then of course you're enjoying each other's bodies and that you taste it and I'm like
Yeah.
I started to get like numb and I'm like I don't like
Oh
this. This is
no.
weird,
Oh no.
right?
But it's
Um
part of the experience. I feel like,
yeah,
but
of
you learn
course.
something. You're like, not for me.
I'm sure there's horror stories out
Yeah.
there. You know, for me, I like I said, more or less vanilla.
Yeah.
I'm I'm a very passionate person, and maybe that's the Puerto Rican in me. But I enjoy foreplay. I enjoy the lead up to it. Like there's people that just want
The clap,
the
clap,
very quick
clap.
clap 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 and let's get the show on
Yeah.
the road. And there are times
And
where I'm
that's
like,
good. And that's good sometimes.
don't get me
Sometimes
wrong.
there is that. Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, okay, we have 5-10 minutes. How quickly can we make this happen? Because we got shit to do.
Correct. I gotta go to work. I gotta pay bills.
But when I'm in that mood and I want, intimacy, which is
Yeah.
really what I'm after, I want
Yeah.
to spend time to really make you feel good. That's how I feel good.
Yeah.
And you have to have a partner that's willing to let you do that with them, but also know how to reciprocate that.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Did you find that there is a lack of the passion, like culturally?
In the queer community, yeah. In the Latin community, no. If you find yourself with a queer Latin man, I would say 9 times out of 10, they're going to be very passionate and you're going to be very satisfied. But if you're just a general queer person
Yeah.
and you're not necessarily from a passionate background,
Yeah.
most of it is transactional and most of it is just what you see in porn. And what you see in porn is not real life.
No.
A lot of it is abusive. A lot of it is just a very quick, hit and go.
Yeah.
And it looks fun, but it's not reality. It's not rooted in anything that's real.
Yeah.
I don't care for porn for that reason, but I understand that it's got its place.
Yeah.
I think I just value something different.
Yeah. I'm not huge into porn.
I love it. Don't get me wrong.
I don't.
I'm not like obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But
I'm
like,
not. I like it, but like it's not the thing that I'm like
Yeah.
using. You know what I mean? That's not my. I don't know.
I just don't have a good imagination.
Yes, you do. What do you mean you
I
have a
do
good
not.
imagination?
I do not. That's why, like, when I'm with someone, I want to spend the time. I want to, because I need to see
Yeah.
it. I'm like playing it live as it's happening.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like, if you're not matching my energy, it's not for me.
Okay. I think I'm similar in that way. I feel like I definitely want as I'm getting older, I definitely like the connection. I like to be stimulated like by the brain, which is why I feel like my current partner, we started as friends and like it evolved into something more like sexual nation, into like a partnership.
But then it turns the other way, where most relationships, not just queer ones, but you start off hot and heavy.
Yep.
You learn each other, then it starts to kind of fall by the wayside. And this has happened to me in all of my relationships, right? You get to the point where it's like, okay, you've been in with each other for 5-10 years. You already know each other. You know what to expect. You know what is out of the ordinary. Then it happens infrequently. Maybe happens once a month, maybe once every 2 months. Maybe you don't have sex for a year.
That's too long.
So it depends on what you value, right? Most relationships become long-term partnerships where you may have sex every once in a while, but then I will say queer relationships that have been together for a while have opened up.
Yeah.
Because they know that, especially men, they're virile. They want to have sex all the time. They're meant to procreate. So it's not uncommon to see two older men together for 40, 50 years, and they're probably like 70, 80 years old, and they're still out there doing the do with other people, maybe even half their
I feel
age.
like straight people are doing it too, because these homes here are like STI.
But here's the thing. Yeah, the old folks home.
Yeah.
The highest case of STIs. Yeah, for sure. But in queer communities, it's almost like a natural thing for most long-term relationships to be open, and even short ones too.
Yeah.
But because people like variety, I would say it's probably uncommon to have relationships like ours where it's not happening.
Yeah.
I'm very happy. Don't get me wrong if you're watching. For me, it's more, I've had both types of relationships. I don't prefer one over the other. It just depends on the boundary that you set. I think sex to me can be very transactional, and it has been in certain instances.
Yep.
And so I know how to compartmentalize and just treat it as such, versus being with someone that I deeply care for and want to like please in a deep way. That just feels so different to me.
Yeah. I'm with you on all of it. For sure. So I want to pivot into like sexual expression.
Okay.
How do you as an adult, like express yourself, like with clothes, or is there something like how do you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I think about sexual expression in the way, like, when I think about sexual expression, I think about how I express my sexuality and how I present my sex with my partner in the bedroom, right? When I
Yeah,
think about like my identity and how I show myself off to the world,
yeah.
sex isn't like what comes to mind simply because like I don't lead with that. For me, it's like and I will say this, because I have an autoimmune condition, I tend to prioritize comfort versus putting on a show or being
Mariah
flashy.
Carey, you're lounging.
You know what I mean? But honestly, yeah, because I used
Yeah,
to be like, well, let me dress up in a shirt and tie. Let me
yeah,
put on the nicest clothes. Like I
yeah,
used to go all out for
yeah.
work in a suit or whatever. And now I'm like, for what? Like literally on Tuesday when I came back from being sick, I was in a zip up hoodie, a black t-shirt, and jeans. And people looked at me, they're like, you look comfortable today. And I was like, I know what you mean by that, so fuck you. And also, um, I feel good.
Yeah.
So leave me alone.
And they didn't know what you were dealing with internally. Like you were
Of
like,
course.
you're like, it took effort to just get dressed today and be here.
But to answer your question, when I was younger
Yeah,
and I was getting out of the scene, getting out into the gay scene,
yeah.
especially at UConn, you try to assimilate in a way that makes people attracted to you. What was hot in 2000, 2001 was Abercrombie and Fitch. So what did I do? I stopped
Abercrombie and
wearing
Finch.
Tim's and Maggie jeans and I went to Abercrombie and Fitch and I got jeans from there and I got t-shirts from there. So that I could look appealing to people that I wanted
Yeah.
I wanted them to be attracted to me. And then I realized at one point I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
So I just stopped caring about how I expressed myself and I just
Yeah.
was me, whatever that
Yeah.
meant.
I feel like it depends because I feel like I definitely have aspects of like femininity that I like to play with. But I'm also not one of those like and I keep mentioning I go to P Town a lot and I'm like sitting here wearing all this like see through this and like you're showing like I good for you if you want to do that, but I'm not that. And I feel like I constantly get like asked by people like, oh, why don't you show more? Why don't you do this? And I'm just like, I don't want to do that. It's like, well, you're a prude. No, I just don't want to
But
do
why
that.
don't you want to do it?
I don't know. I just don't feel maybe comfortable doing that.
Okay.
And I'm also not an attention seeker. I'm not like, look at me. Like, so
Do
I'm
you think
not,
that people that bare their skin more are doing it because they want the attention? I mean, I have to
I
imagine
don't
nine
think
times out
that
of
is
10, yeah.
the only factor, but I think that plays into it.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
it's
you're in
listen,
P Town,
if
so
you have it flaunted, by all means, but like don't come over here telling me what I should be wearing. That's all. I'm like, I'm gonna wear the fuck I want to wear. Like I also go to like nude beaches
yeah.
and like I don't get naked. Like my partner's like takes everything off and I'm like, I'm just not
I couldn't do
that type of
that because
I'm not
I like to look at people. Frankly, like it just and it
it's
would
a
be
little
hard for
bizarre
me
for me. It's a little bizarre
because
to
it's not
like
natural.
it's very bizarre. And
But
they're like, oh, it's
we
very
literally come
freeing.
into this world naked.
Let it free you. Get your freak on.
You don't. It
Like
doesn't
do it.
become normal until you get into that sphere and do it. But
I don't want
I
to do
like
it.
you.
I
Like I
just
don't know
don't
that I would
care about.
want
I
to do
just
it.
honestly, it does nothing for me. Like, cool, I can go there and watch people, and I'm like, and believe me, I like to go look, but I'm like, I don't need to like showing like I don't know. I feel like lost are the days where like you don't get to see this naked unless you're like with me. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel there's something about that. Like, if
Do
everyone
you think that's queer culture though?
sees,
Because everyone has been with each other. Like there's no mystique anymore.
no, yeah, I think there's it's like almost like a this is gonna sound really weird, but a lost art form of some kind. Um, where I find it, and I'm just like, okay, so if you guys know, and I dislike when people are sitting there and be like, oh, he like I saw him naked, and his size is as big, or like he doesn't have an ass, or like, and I'm like, oh, that's why you wanted to like go see so you can judge, or like, so I'm like, that makes me not want to do that, and I'm just like, so I'm like, I don't need anyone saying what I need to like,
And
oh,
now you
don't
see why
have.
I
I'm
keep my
like,
circle really small.
yeah, do you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's not a cool feeling to like have that. And I'm like, I don't need. I don't know. I'm just like,
A lot of gay people judge. It's kind of in our nature. I mean, everyone judges,
yeah.
but when groups of gay guys get together and those conversations happen,
Yeah.
my mind immediately checks out because I'd want no part of it.
Yeah, yeah, and I have someone who's I'm actually kind of close, friends with. He's constantly checking out guys, and he's like, someone's like I think you and I talk about it. We check out a cute guy, but we're not sitting here and trying to like rip apart his body and what he needs to work on. He needs to go to the gym and hit the arms and go to the gym. And I'm like, That's when it becomes
That's
yucky.
weird.
You know what I mean? Like, so I'm sorry, you're not a fucking 10 over here. And and I'll take that back because I don't mean subscribe to like numbers.
Yeah,
The
but
whole
I
thing
know what you're
about dating,
saying.
but
It's
I'm like, worry about you. Be the best you, and then don't expect other people to look a certain way. Or
who
just
has the
like
time to critique the next bitch? Like, if you're worried about the next bitch, you're certainly not worried about
correct,
enough about what you got
correct.
going
And I'm
on in
like,
your
and if you're
life.
only worried about outer appearance, and this is why you fucking single for fucking this long, and I don't want to. That clearly sounds judgy, but I'm just like, you're only concerned with the outside. And like, what about the inside? Maybe he's amazing. Like,
And they're probably having a lot of sex too,
so I'm just like,
because that's easy to get.
why?
It's
So I'm
very
like,
easy to get it. You can go to any app and get it right now. The hard part is maintaining a relationship that's respectable to you
yeah,
and that you want to be in. But what happens in the gay community is guys burn the candle from both ends. And then by the time they're 45, 50 years old, they realize, oh, well, I don't really have much in terms of relationship experience because they haven't gone through anything. And then when they try to get something, they're usually prioritizing the younger guys who are using the older guys for money or for whatever. And that's never a healthy bond to have. It's never a healthy relationship.
no,
It's going to be disastrous. I've seen it many, many times.
yeah.
And I've got friends now that are my age that when they were the young twinks, they were getting on the love and attention. Now that they're the older guys, they look for people that looked like them when they were younger, and they're not getting the same attention. Now, I will say this: the standard of beauty has changed a little bit. Twinks were all the rage 25 years ago when I was coming up. I got a lot of attention. And now the daddy,
I like. Can we say that I love a good dad bod? I like
yeah,
all day long. I will say this: I like all forms of bodies.
correct.
I'm like, I've been like, my first partner was actually a little more heavier. The one I have now is more on the thinner side. But like, I don't have. I see the male form as like beautiful,
Same here.
and I.
It's why we're gay.
So I do not discriminate in that way in terms of like body shapes and sizes. And I'm just like, if there's a connection and there's an attraction, I'm like, I'm game on. You know, I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
game on with most guys, shape wise. Like I don't.
But there's still men that are very much into the I want the gym rat, or I only exclusively date bears. I only do this. I only do that. It's like
And I hate when people's like, I only do 10s or 9s, and I'm just like,
but you're barely
I'm
a
sorry.
7.
I'm sorry. Okay, good
You're
for you.
barely a
I'm just
3.
like, and also like the whole body count thing, like you sharing with me your body counts, if like that's impressive. I'm like, good for you. Like, what do you want me to do with that information?
That's the culture. It's like,
I'm just
how
like,
many
I
guys can you rack up?
need to do that. And like, anytime anyone's asking me that, and I'm like, I don't want to, like, that's none of your business. I'm like, oh, you're being prude. No, like, first of all, that's none of your business. And number two, why do you like what it? So if I slept with 100, then I'm more like, attractive.
You're
Then like
more
that's
respected. When the
outta
reality is,
here.
they got pissed off at you, they would use that against you. You're such a whore because you've been with 100 guys.
exactly. So, but there's nobody. Fuck what we want to fuck.
Why do
but
you
who
care?
It doesn't matter. Like I don't find it appealing for you to share your body count. Like it's not like good for you. Like when someone shares that with me, I'm like, okay, cool. Like next. Like I don't know what you want me to use with that information, because I'm not gonna judge you and be like, well, you've been with that many, so I can't be with you. And I'm like, that everyone has a past. Everyone has like
Of course.
exploration. Like just
People
live,
are weird.
live,
If you
live,
want
and
to
let
fuck 100
live.
people, do that. I trust me, I don't care.
I don't. And unfortunately, I have a couple of friends in the group where like that's very much occurring, and like I find myself like tuning out. And like
Are they
sometimes
younger? Like in their 20s?
One's older, and a couple of them are younger.
Okay. So, because, I mean, maybe people just don't grow out of that
Yeah.
mentality, but I think it's so prevalent in the gay community where it's like your respect level comes from the things you own or how you look or the things you possess, and your body count versus the things that actually matter. So when they get older and those things fade, or they don't have the same things that they did, and what matters is your character,
Yeah.
they realize that they put so much effort into faking it that they forgot that they actually had to make it.
Yeah.
And then it's too late because no one wants you because you're weird.
Yeah.
This is why, like,
all of the above.
while I have been in relationships most of my life, most of my adult life, I am very proud of what I've learned in each relationship, especially sexually, because I'm a fully realized human being now, and I know exactly what I love and what I don't love.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking to settle for things I don't love because it makes someone else happy. People in the queer community, and maybe this is a judgment. I mean, sound off of the comments. I don't care. It's more. Um, what I was gonna say was people in the gay community will take relationships and give what they think their partner wants to their detriment
Yeah.
when it really should be kind of a 50-50 give and take kind of situation. And I'm not looking to compromise on that level anymore.
Yeah.
If you and I got together, not you and I, but if
Yeah.
you and I got together and we were sexually incompatible, it would just stay there.
Yeah. That's well said. Well said. I feel like there's a lot of like compatibilities, like mentally, sexually,
Yeah.
like ambition. Like there's a lot of factors that come
What would you
into it.
tell a baby gay that came to you today and said, "Hey JP, I want to start having sex, but I don't know where to start, what to research, what to do"?
Oh, number one is like there's plenty of stuff online. And what I mean by that in terms of like sex education plus also like preventative care. So like days are the gone or gone are the days, I should say, where the resources are not there. There's plenty of resources, and if you actually get on Hulu, there's a commercial about like PrEP everywhere. So I don't want to hear like, well, I didn't know where to get the stuff. I don't know where to go. And like,
Yeah.
most websites have like you can go online and find a lot of resources. So it's like number one is just like if you're gonna start exploring and like joining in like apps and like seeing people and doing the most, then just be safe about it. Other than that, like have fun, try it. There's gonna be some things that are uncomfortable. If it sounds fishy, don't go to that person's house. If like be smart and be like
follow your intuition.
correct. Text a friend your location if you think it's kind of like
that
iffy.
part. Share your location. Keep it on.
So I'm like share your location, but like try it. And like to your point earlier, like try at least once. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. So it's like there's no shame in that. And like you don't have to share anything you don't want to share with people. There's no obligation of just like you gotta tell people your body count, who you've been with, who you're not, unless you're on this podcast. And there's a contract by Ursula over here.
That's hilarious.
But there is no obligation. And like if people think you're prude, because then be prude and whatever. Like if you want to share that, cool, that's good for you. If you want to share your bodyguard and you're that type of girl, do that as well. But like explore, be safe, but enjoy life. And like there's a lot to offer. Like believe me, try it all and have fun with that.
I agree with that. I would say to add to that, it's important to find your tribe. A lot of queer people feel shame because they can't talk to their family about things. Most families don't accept them for being gay or queer or whatever the case is. So they rely on their friends and on their loved ones. But most of their close friends and loved ones don't share either your identity or don't share. I have a little fruit fly here. Do you see it? Don't share.
I love the little thing that distract you.
They do. I forget ADHD. They don't share the similar experiences that you do. So when it comes to
He's going.
got you.
He's going for this
When it comes,
fly.
and I usually catch them with my bare hands, which is crazy. I've got quick reflexes. But when it comes to finding your tribe, I think it's important to use the internet not just for research sake, but find people that have common interests in you. Let's say, for example, you are a leather person. Find people in that community that can mentor you. Right? But be very careful and selective with who you align with, because some people will see that and maybe are predatory. And it's hard to find out who's in it for a sexual reason versus who's in it to really help you. But every community that I've been in or that I've been in the periphery of have people there that are elders that really want to help you grow and mentor you. So find that, right? From those communities, there are always sub-communities. There's all these kinks. There's all these things that you can get involved in. And that experimentation.
There's furries.
What was that?
Furries?
Yeah. There's all these sub-genres and sub-communities that when you get involved in, you meet people that are friends for life. But also you get to realize very quickly like what you're into and what you're not. Right? I wouldn't consider myself a leather guy. I don't consider myself a daddy. I don't consider myself a twink. I'm kind of all over the place. But like I've worn a leather harness once and I feel great in it.
I don't know if I would wear any of it.
I love it. But I don't own
I wear
one.
leather. I wear leather, but I don't know if I'm wearing like I'm not even big on like wearing harness or like this or that. And I'm like I like certain outfits that I'm like, ooh, that's like has like cutout or like a see-through or a sequence. I like to explore with like fashion and like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
element, but I'm not like Mr. Like I'm wearing like a jockstrap and like this, and my partner is that person, which I love it for him, and I
Yeah, of
think he looks
course.
very great in that. I mean, please continue, babe, to wear this. This looks great on
It
you.
does it for you.
But like he's always like, "Do you want to try?" And I'm like, "Nope, that's not my thing." I'm like, "I love it on you," but I'm like, "I don't need that in my, you know."
But I've done it and I'm like, okay, I don't need to do it again.
Yeah,
I had an itch, I scratched it, I'm good to go.
yeah,
But I tried it. I found out that even though I like it, it's not something that I'm looking to dive deep into.
yeah.
But I don't have any like wild kinks or any like communities that I feel like I belong to. As I'm saying before, like
Yeah,
I feel like I'm very vanilla in that respect.
yeah.
But I'm never gonna yuck someone's yum unless it is rooted in like bigotry or it's illegal in nature. I'm never gonna do that because that's fucking
Or stuff that
gross.
comes out of a particular exit.
Oh my god, no. We're not two girls, one cupping it. We're never doing that.
Not two girls in one
Do you remember that fucking video?
Yes, yes.
What a horror fucking
I don't want to
film.
relive it. I
God.
don't. Oh my god.
That brought me back to 2008 quickly.
Jeesh. Oh god, let's
My
not.
lord.
We're gonna move right along from that video because I'm still like, ugh, I cannot.
But you
I
know
cannot.
what? But here's the thing. Like while I am yucking someone's yum, there's just some things that I can't do.
That is a yuck.
But if you love that,
Good for you.
love that for you. Just
Yeah.
keep that shit away from me, literally.
Do you have any more puns? Do you have any more
That's
lined up?
so stupid. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Like, sex is such a deeply rooted personal thing for people.
Yeah.
But I think in most communities, we don't talk enough about it. And there are people that have been shamed for things that they like. And I'm at the point in my life where it's like, experiment, have fun. If you want to be in an open relationship, do that. Make sure that your partners are safe. Make sure that you're getting on PrEP and you're getting tested for STIs on a 3-month basis. Be healthy about it, but fucking try it.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself and have all the fun.
If you're not hurting yourself or anybody else, who the hell am I to tell you
Right.
otherwise? That's all. That's my thing.
And I feel like queer should be just a little bit less judgmental and a little bit more supportive. And I think the straight community
Such
can
judgment
learn.
queens over here.
Well, I mean, I don't feel like I'm judging by saying
No. I
do
said
a
like
thing.
we do it in a fun
But I feel
way.
like the straight community can learn a lot from our community as well. We
Yeah.
are sexually more open, at least outwardly, than maybe our straight counterparts. I know that
Yeah.
our straight counterparts are doing their things, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I've heard stories there too.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said about like, you know, I don't see a lot of open relationships in the straight community. I do see them a lot in the gay community.
Yeah.
But if people feel like they want to get over jealousies or whatever, maybe you should try it and see what that does to you. And this kind of leads me into my last hot spill before we move forward. And I'm glad that I remembered it because it's been kind of weighing on my spirit, and I've heard it on different shows before. But I think about bisexual men often, not because I want to be with them, but I think about their coming out journeys and how most bisexual men will never come out because women shun them for being bisexual. The moment that a woman learns that a love interest was with another man, they automatically put up the flags and they're like, no, I can't do this. So a lot of bi men end up doing things on the side with other men on the down low because that's the only way they can scratch that itch and get sexual fulfillment. I can't tell you how many guys when I was like in my open relationship would hit me up on an app and they'd be like, well, I just have to keep this down low because I'm married. And it's like, okay, well, that's the end of my story with you. But I just feel so bad for you.
Yeah, and I guess the best way to call that would be like toxic femininity. I guess
Maybe I just think like, and I get why women want to know if their man has been with
Yeah, but in
another
the
man.
opposite arena, men celebrate if she's bisexual and he can fantasize
Well, because
and
it's
have.
socially acceptable to be bisexual if you're a woman.
But why? That's the part that it blows my mind. What is the difference between a man being bisexual?
Because
Like I don't
man being
understand.
with another man is just an abomination. It's not.
Why
it's not
does it
natural.
matter to you who he's been? He wants to be with you
Because
now.
women are there for your sexual fulfillment. So a woman liking another woman to entertain a man, yes, I'm all for that. But two men being together, absolutely not. You're there to procreate. You're there to be pleased. You're not there to please another man. Like you're supposed to be the one that gets pleasure. It's a societal norm that's so fucked up and so gross to me.
Yeah.
But I understand why women want to know why their men have been with other men. It's just
So don't
they can
ask then.
say-
If it's such an issue, then don't ask.
But this is why bisexual men don't bring it up. you'll never go into most bisexual men will. I don't want to generalize, but I will say
A big
a lot of
portion.
bisexual men, and we know that bis are the biggest part of the community. They just go unnoticed because they don't want to come out.
Yeah. Or they label themselves as straight
Yeah,
most of the time.
100%.
I've also met folks who are like they are okay with having like a male, sexual encounter, like male to male, but they said that they could never be in a relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like when they say that, I'm like, do you think that, or is society making you feel like you can be? And
Oh, it's
more
just it's
chances
definitely
than not
societal.
is more societal, but they always like have purpose it to me as in like, no, it's because I'm not like, I just don't see myself with a man, and I'm like, why? It's the
Yeah, of
question.
course, they don't want to. A lot of a lot of men will be like, "Well, if I don't label it gay, it's not gay." But it's
That's
like you were literally just sucking my dick 5 minutes ago. Yeah, of course you're gay, or at least
or
bi.
bisexual, or like, which is
But I
cool.
will
Like,
say on the converse side, like gay men should not label bisexual men as gay or on the way to being gay. Like if you're bi and you tell me that
yeah,
you're bi. But a lot of gay
correct.
men will be like, "You're not bi,
Yeah,
you're just gay. You just don't want to fully commit."
I will say also in the same, I will say yes, and most people use a bisexual token or card, I think, as you did when you talked
Yeah,
about your,
as a stepping
as a
stone.
gateway to.
Yeah, but when you have men
So I
who
feel like
know who
that's where
themselves
they're getting
are,
that from. Is probably them thinking like, oh, this is their like
I get it,
transitional
but I
thing.
don't think it's fair to label
Assume
someone for
correct.
them, right? If I
I
tell you
agree,
I'm
agree,
this
agree.
until
But
I
that's
tell
what
you
I feel
otherwise,
like
then I'm that.
the times that I've heard is pretty much like that's like the mentality.
No,
It's
I've
just like,
heard the opposite where a lot of guys would be like, "Oh, I'm bisexual," and the gays in the room would be like, "You're not bi, you're gay, you're gay," and it's like I can like more than one gender.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
respect that.
yeah,
But gay men want everyone to be gay so
yeah.
badly.
Are you attracted to trans individuals? Because
um,
I find myself being attracted to like trans men.
I would say that I am attracted to men, and at the same time, and this might be another hot spell.
Yeah.
If you are a F to M, meaning female to male trans person,
Yep.
I'm not attracted to female genitalia or traditionally female genitalia because men have vaginas too and women have penises. So,
Yeah.
but a trans woman
You're
having
gonna
a
get
penis,
you're gonna get comments on that.
cancel me. I like what I like. It's
No,
just
no,
what
no,
it
no.
is.
I mean like when you said like females have penises and males
Oh,
have
girl.
vaginas.
But
They're
if
gonna
a
come for
trans
you.
woman has a penis, I don't want a woman.
Yeah.
And if a trans male has a vagina, I don't want a vagina, but I
I
can be
feel like
attracted to the man.
I've never like been with a woman, but I will feel that I potentially could.
Like
I have
like
not
a
tried it.
female or trans male.
I female to male, I
So
feel like
trans
I
man.
could be with them sexually if I'm
I've
attracted to
seen
them.
pornography and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
And I've seen some that like look like very male
for
presenting.
sure.
So I'm
And
like,
there are
and
some
maybe
trans
it's
men that
that.
I'm like, whoa, you are
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry guys, I like
And
a
that's
dick.
like recently that I've discovered. I'm just like, maybe I could or not.
You might have
Not
saw
that I'm
recently,
seeking. Not that I'm seeking, but I'm just
there's
saying.
a trans guy on I think Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, that is very open about their bottom surgery. So they had the skin graft and to construct a penis where there wasn't one before. And it looks a little interesting because it's been designed for them.
Yep.
But it's their open journey with sex and how that works. And it's if I find a video, I'll
I
show
would love
you.
to have someone to talk about it, like come on this podcast and just have. I mean, we don't have to show pictures of them, but I'm just saying, just like talk about their experience and a little
Yeah,
bit
the
of like what.
phalloplasty of it all, but like to find someone, like it's not
Yeah.
a good thing to ask someone about their genitals either.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if someone's willing and wants
Of
to,
course.
I'm open to
I
that.
just
So,
think when it
so
comes
if you're
to
listening to the podcast
trans
and you want to be
people,
that person,
hit us up. Like I'm attracted to trans people because I'm attracted to people. I'm
Yeah.
attracted to men. If you
Yeah.
look like a man to me, like a traditional man to me, then yeah.
Yeah.
I'm attracted to you. But there are feminine men that I'm very attracted to also.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of like mask versus
Yeah.
femme.
Yeah.
But sexual organs do matter to me.
Yeah.
And so for that reason and that reason alone, I don't know that I could be with a trans man and feel sexually gratified as with a cis male.
Yeah. I feel you hit on something that I think we didn't cover, was the whole like feminine versus masculine and like attraction too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I have in my friend circle folks who like, oh, he's too gay, so I can't be. Oh, to this, and I'm like, do you mean he's feminine? It's not about like
Literally
you're
that.
both are gay, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, he's more feminine than you are. So I'm like, if you're an attraction to like masculinity, that's different. Don't like, so because essentially you're almost like
You're
down.
belittling yourself.
Correct. So I'm just like, what do you mean
But it's all
too
rooted in
gay?
misogyny.
Yeah.
It's literally that. So
Yeah.
I'm attracted to any man,
Yep.
feminine or masculine. I would say it's a scale, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like a Kinsey scale.
Yep.
Like I tend to be more attracted to mask presenting men.
Same
but
here.
I've been with feminine guys that had the quote gay voice
Yeah.
or the gay face, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's no different than anything else.
I don't judge super feminine guys. When I become a little judgy, is like individuals, and I'm not going to use even feminine guys. I'm going to say individuals who like to suck the energy of a room. Or like they're loud and obnoxious and it's very all performative, and it's just like, I'm here, the attention needs to be on me, and they're like super femme with it.
Seen
It's
that
like
in extremely feminine guys and extremely masculine guys too.
I have not seen it a lot in masculine guys. I see it mostly on like
you know how
super.
you know how it manifests though?
Yeah.
In going to the gym and being super focused on their body, always being shirtless in a queer setting, always being the guy that only goes after guys that look exactly like you.
Yeah, then that's then
right?
I guess
because they don't have to be the loud one, the the flying around the room, the limp wrist and all that.
Yeah.
To be gay, that's what society looks like.
Yeah.
That's what society looks at as being gay.
Yep.
And that's where the stereotypes come from. But the men that seek the attention, you're doing the same thing. It's just coming out in a different manner.
Yeah. But that's I agree with all that.
But I think a lot of homophobia is rooted in misogyny, and I do feel like women contribute to that a great degree, which is why a lot of bisexual men decide they don't want to come out the closet. Agreed. It's for fear that if they got found out, women would not be attracted to them.
And I feel there are homophobic gay people.
100%.
And what I mean by that, it's like people who make comments like that. What, he's too gay. Fuck are you talking about? He's too gay. You know what I mean?
You're not.
He's too feminine is what you want to say, because I'm like, I'm always trying to like correct, and I'm like, I think
you
you're
didn't
going
have a
with
dick
the
in your
different.
ass 10 minutes ago.
Like I just don't. Yeah, so
it's dumb. Sex is weird, but I love it.
That's the name of the episode. Sex is weird, but I love it.
Okay, we can do that. Any parting words before we go?
No, I feel that I've definitely have evolved in how I express myself. Even like I feel like you're definitely more like sex positive than I am, and I feel like I've definitely have gained more like I feel more comfortable in my own skin now with that, when I'm able to be on a podcast and even talk about this, because normally I'm just like, I'm not telling people shit.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? But now I see it like it's my journey, and listen, if you don't want to be with me, I got a man, first of all. But like,
here's where you and I are different. You don't care for people telling you their stories.
Yeah.
And like you're not above not hearing their stories, but you're not going out of your way to be like, tell me your body count. Like,
no, I'm not. And I'm also not asking people like, are you bottom or top? I'm meeting them. Like, that's not, and I have,
and I'm very
people
similar to that
in the circle where like they do it. They're like, oh, you a bottom? I'm like, I don't need to know that. Like, why would you need to know that?
But like, if someone comes to me and says, hey, I'm a part of this community, this is what we do, I'm fascinated by that kind of thing, because I'm an inquisitive person and I like to learn. But I'm not looking to go out of my way to be like, so are you a leather daddy? Do you like the furries? Like, if I know you are, then let's have a conversation if you want to divulge that information. But I don't care.
I don't walk around saying I'm gay to people. Like, that's, to me, it's like, my whole identity is not just my sexuality. So 100%. I mean, like, I don't want to be reduced to like, which is why I had an issue, because I remember like back early days in our BRG at our company, when they were asking about like, oh, do you want to like do like a bio about you? And it was even before like you have asked, and they were gonna label it like gay professional, whatever it was. It's like being reduced to just that. To me, I'm just like, can we just call it JP or JP, whatever you want to call it, but like, don't reduce me to just gender and professional, because I feel like I'm so much more than just that.
Of course. All right, guys. Well, I think we're at the end of episode 5. I hope that you all found this conversation kind of illuminating, and that you learned something, and that you're not entirely grossed out by anything that we talked about. But if you want to have a conversation with either one of us when you see us, we're happy to.
Yes.
And if you want to sound off in the comments of the reels that you see, we would love the engagement.
And YouTube. I want to promote YouTube, because like our full videos are posted on YouTube, usually on Fridays.
Usually on Fridays.
Between Friday and Sunday, I want to say. Sure. Like, we'll post it in our
we'll post it on Instagram for sure.
Yeah,
Make sure that you follow us at the Spill the Cafecito podcast on all of our social media, except for TikTok, I think, which is at Spill the Cafecito.
Yep.
And we'll catch you next week.
That's right. And don't come for Anthony in the comments because apparently she will take someone out.
I mean, the thing is, if you want to cover me, you can cover me, but you're not going to win because I don't give a fuck.
Because she has a contract.
And that's respectfully, right?
If you're 16.
What'd you say?
Because she has a contract if you're 16.
If you sign the contract, you're fucked.
Ursula, right here.
Have a good night, y'all.
Have
we'll
a good
talk
night.
to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.